So I guess I do this sort of thing so that you don't have to. On today's ride, I'm going to be exploring a rail trail which, until 10 hours before my visit, I didn't even know existed. And while I found the trail to be incredibly beautiful, some planning deficiencies on my part meant that my ride was less than optimal. Good morning. It's a very early morning. It's supposed to get quite hot today. Been a little bit over 30 degrees. So I decided to get up at an ungodly hour to start my ride and hopefully finish it while it's still, relatively speaking, cool. Relatively speaking. So here's my question of the day. I mentioned that it's going to get hot later today, probably about 31 degrees, so they're predicting. What is the hottest temperature that you've ever cycled in? For me, it was unfortunately here in Ontario, and about 2 weeks ago, and it was 32 degrees. But there was a nice cool breeze, and I was only cycling for about 50 minutes, so I don't know if that counts. But what about you? What's the hottest you've cycled in? And if you don't like cycling in hot weather, what would be the maximum that you would cycle in? Good morning. So where am I today? Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I know that this is the Upper Grand Trailway and that it follows the former line of the Canadian Pacific Railroad, and I know I started over here in the town of Grand Valley. But what I mean is I don't really know what the trail's going to be like today. Last night I hadn't even decided where I was going to come. I thought I was going to go to a different trail, and I was looking at Google Maps and I saw a dotted line, which is this trail, and I saw that it went all the way from Waldemar, which is just the other side of Grand Valley, to Arthur, and the trail looked like it was 20 kilometers long. But when I Googled the Upper Grand River Trailway, which is the one I'm standing on, it said it's only 10.5. So what I suspect is that about 10 kilometers down that way, the trail changes into something else. I couldn't street view it because there's no street view coverage for that end of the trail, so I don't really know if it's going to be rideable or if it's a rough trail, or if there's no trail at all and maybe the dotted line was just a remnant of something past. But anyway, I'm going to take the trail and I'll see how far I get. Hopefully I can get all the way to Arthur, but I do have a sneaky suspicion that in about 10 kilometers time I'm going to find a whole different situation, but we'll see. And I should say that so far the trail is absolutely beautiful. The scenery is incredible. The trail surface is really very good. It's a little bit dusty, so I apologize if I've got dust on my face. It's all over my bike already, but yeah, I'm really impressed with this trail so far. So I have done just over 10 kilometers on the Upper Grand Trail. The trail now becomes the West Luther Trailway, and well, it's starting like this. It says it's 11 kilometers to Arthur. I think I'm gonna go along here for a way, hopefully for the whole 11 kilometers. If it's like it is right there within my sight, then it would be okay. It would be a slower ride, but it would certainly be manageable on my bike. So I've ridden about a kilometre on this trail, and what I'm finding is it's so rough and bumpy. It's not too rough for the bike, but I'm having to look at my 3 meters ahead of me the whole time instead of opening up and being able to look at the views. And so I think what I'm going to do is turn back, do this kilometre or so on this rougher track, and then get back onto the Upper Grand Trailway, ride that all the way to the start point, which is Waldemar. So that's a 20 kilometer ride. For most of you that's possibly not going to be enough, but if you came here, firstly I would say that Upper Canada, I keep wanting to say Upper Canada, the Upper Grand Trailway is unbelievably good. It's unbelievably good, if short, but it's certainly worth riding on that. 20 kilometers might be enough for you, or you might want to extend it by riding up and down some of these gravel roads. But I'm going to head back. I noticed some great big potholes on this road, on this trail here, so I'm going to make sure I don't hit a rim and get a flat. But yeah, I'll get onto the nice gravel again and then ride all the way to Waldemar. You know, I was thinking earlier I was going to call this trail Ontario's Hidden Gem, and then I decided that because it was so short, so small a trail, that maybe it wasn't a hidden gem. But then again, the gems that I can afford are pretty small, so maybe it is a good way to describe this trail. So yeah, I'm going to say this is Ontario's Hidden Gem. So this is where I entered the trail, and the town of Grand Valley is just down there in the valley, go figure. I didn't go this way. That way leads to Waldemar, which is the actual start of the trail. So because my journey was cut short, I am going to go just head to Waldemar and back and see what that end of the trail offers as well. The other thing I noticed about this trail, tons of seating, which is really, really good. It's something that I look for to sort of pass a complete judgment on a trail. If there's somewhere you can sit and get a break, that's great. I have been on trails where there is nothing and you're out in the direct sun, and it's pretty miserable. But yeah, can't fault this trail for that. I'm really glad I did that extra little bit to Waldemar. It wasn't very far at all, but yeah, it kind of added a little slightly different perspective. You're up a little bit higher, so yeah, it was well worth doing. I would have parked here, but when I looked at this town, I couldn't really see anywhere to legitimately park, and I don't like kind of flouting the rules too much, especially if I end up parking in front of somebody's driveway or on somebody's property without realizing it. So yeah, Grand Valley was a decent place to start, and then just coming here and back was no issue at all. But yeah, this is really nice. It's almost like a little park, but I believe that's probably somebody's property. I mean, look at this. That is real attention to detail. So clearly there are one or two little issues that I need to iron out with this trail before I can really give it my gold seal stamp of approval as one of my favourite rail trails. The trail itself, the rideable part of the trail, the 10 or so kilometres, 20 there and back, were absolutely fantastic. Wonderful scenery, great trail surface, really fine crushed gravel, which was incredibly comfortable. I mean, it did get all over my bike and all over me, the dust, but that's fine. For me, for the bike that I had today, it wasn't really a prospect. 22 kilometers, just thinking about it, of rattling up and down, having my teeth almost jumping out of my head as the day was just going to keep getting hotter and hotter. Wasn't really something that I wanted to do, and so I'm glad I turned around. I'm still going to do a few little bits on the road just to kind of give myself a decent distance, but you know, I mean, if you didn't do anything extra there and back with a couple of little detours around the town of Grand Valley and Waldemar, you'd probably be somewhere in 25-27 kilometers, so that's not bad. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Maybe it's made you think, yeah, I'm going to give the Upper Grand Trailway a go, or perhaps it might have even made you think, yeah, it's not really worth your time, it's not your kind of trail. Either way, if you have enjoyed it, if you have found it useful, please remember, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next ride.